From the creators of the Wife Wednesday Radio Network and Lead Up Studios, this is Nerdquesting with Cena.
Once upon a time in a podcast far, far away, there was a lady who talked a lot about nerdy subjects, and that lady is me. Salutations. I'm Cena from the Wife Wednesday Radio Network, and this is a quest deep into my mind. Hey everybody, welcome back to our next season of Nerdquesting. This season, I don't want to say it's going to be like a filler season, but I have a project for the next Nerdquesting and something nerdy that I'm wanting to pursue because we know, one, I change hobbies like I change underwear, and two, we know my attention is even shorter of a span than that.
Yeah.
So, hi.
Hi, how are you?
We're going to kick off Nerdquesting this season with a big nerdy ticket item, something that's been in the works for many, many years. And my listeners, we are going to be talking about Diablo 4.
Yes.
I'm going to preface this with, there was one summer.
Oh my gosh, that's all we did.
When Nicole, Teresa, and I first got together as a couple, the three of us.
Yes.
All we did was sit down and play Diablo 3.
We literally came home. We would like shower or whatever, and then we're like, all right, let's go. And we would play it literally until we went to bed.
Yeah. We would just
break for dinner, and that was it.
Yeah. And it's definitely a dungeon crawler game.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun game. And
it's so fun. And they got rid of my character.
Well, what?
The voodoo witch.
The witch doctor.
Doctor. Yeah, rude.
There's a necromancer, though.
It's not the same. The witch doctor had hounds that were my babies.
Okay, yeah. Well, I have skeletal mages that I summon. But
I had those as well.
It's not hounds. I get it.
It's not hounds.
I get it.
They were my babies.
It'll be an expansion at some point.
Yeah, probably.
But, okay. So, Diablo 4, everyone's been waiting for the next Diablo. Mm-hmm. It's been years. And it drops. And it's a really big game. It was pretty expensive, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I bought the basic one.
The lowest one you could buy.
The lowest one. And after taxes and everything, it was $75 per game.
Yeah.
So I bought it for me and Andrew. So that's $150 for us to play this game together. Mm-hmm. We got it last week. And I've got to say that the way my husband and his friends play is completely different than the way that we played. We are explore every corner of the map, get every bit of loot we can, and
sorry, it's Sophia and Josh's awesome joint birthday party.
I see that
in a couple Saturdays. Sorry.
Yeah, moving on. So it's a great game. And they are power gamers. So they will literally skip all the cutscenes, all the conversation, everything. And I'm like, I'm not paying $75 for a game without listening to the story. I want to absorb every bit of it.
Yes.
Especially since it was all about Mommy Lilith. Mm-hmm. Which is just, she's a badass bitch. She's the villain.
Yeah.
But kinda. Like, she's a villain, but also.
Yes.
You know, like.
Yeah.
I've found a reoccurring theme with these Diablo games is that there is a morally gray area with some of these, which is what gives, I think, some of these villains and storylines like the humanity and the believability. And for the game itself, I would give this game a 7.5 out of 10.
That's still pretty good.
It's still great.
Yeah.
I feel like there could have been more main quest story to it.
The
like
fact
we
that you've already
burned through it
finished the
really
quest,
quick.
the main story is crazy to me.
And but they've also announced with Diablo 4 they're going to be releasing seasons of stuff
like they do
so
Fortnite.
So there will be more story.
Mm-hmm.
And since I beat it last night, like the main story quest, we beat it last night, and it's definitely open where you can tell there's going to be more quests, more story. Yes.
Does the map thing do it to where it's black until you explore it?
It's foggy.
Still?
Yes.
Oh, thank goodness. That's like literally the best, because then you're like, did I go over here or didn't I?
Yeah.
And the map, that was my favorite part.
Literally, yes.
Yeah.
Completionist.
Because we are people who, you don't move on until you get all the treasure. Type of vibe.
And see, okay, so like one thing, you know how there were treasure goblins?
Yes.
The loot goblins.
Yeah.
And you have to chase them and kill them?
Yes.
So there is still that, but I've only encountered 2.
Wow.
And I have probably put 30 hours into this game.
Yeah.
If not more.
Mm-hmm.
And I've only encountered 2. But there's a lot more in this game that we didn't play at Diablo 3 online with other people.
No, it was PlayStation.
Sharing one screen
literally
with
3 people.
It was awful, but it was great. And I felt like it had a little more MMORPG, so that's mass multiplayer online.
Yeah.
Role-playing games.
It's cross-form, yeah?
Yes, it's cross-platform. So I'll be able to play with Adric. Mm-hmm. He got it. Mm-hmm. If you decide to end up getting it, Therese, everybody. I'll be able to play with whomever. Yeah. But I feel like it lost a little bit of that, the individual storytelling.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
There's a lot more like collaborative things, which is fun. It's fine. But my number one complaint I was telling Andrew was it felt like last year Amazon released a game, or 2 years ago, and it was called Lost Ark.
Uh-huh.
And the gameplay felt exactly like that. Like it was copy pasted. Like with a little bit of Diablo in it. Mm-hmm. But it just felt more of, okay, we'll go here. Yeah. Okay, go here. It had a little bit of like, I had really high expectations for the game.
Yes.
And I just felt like it was cheapened by that, a little more like Lost Ark, a little more like World of Warcraft, a little less like Diablo in my opinion, but I never played it online. So maybe that's how it's always been.
Maybe.
And I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like by not doing like the side missions, I lost some of the richness of it. Mm-hmm. But I can go back and do them all, which is what I'm going to be doing to level up my character, to get it into Paragons. And it's a grinding game.
Yeah.
I just kind of wanted a little more story, but the story that was there was excellent. Mm-hmm. You know, it was great. You go into hell. It's fabulous.
Yeah.
But I'm going to stick with my 7.5 for that. I expected a little more, but what I got was great.
Yeah. Love that.
Yeah. And so nerds, that's going to bring us to our next thing I wanted to talk about. I've really been getting into reading again. Mm-hmm. Reading's a luxury. In my opinion, you've got to have the time to commit to it. Mm-hmm. And for me, like going from audiobooks back to books, there's a different type of richness when you're actually physically reading the book.
Yeah.
Versus when I'm doing an audiobook, I'm doing something else.
Yes.
And
this is
I'm
kind
not
of like a self-care,
absorbed.
taking time for yourself.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. But it also, I think, and I know you agree with this, that it's hard to sit and read it because it takes much longer than an Audible where you can multitask.
Like clean your house and read.
I usually listen to books while I'm working because I work in a data entry type work environment. So I'm literally copying everything from this thing to this thing.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So, yeah.
So
So what have we been reading?
We're going to talk about what we've been reading.
Yeah.
If you listen to our regular Wife Wednesday podcast,
Yeah,
which if you're listening to this, you do.
Yeah.
You know, we have been obsessed with Haunting Adeline and the second book, Hunting Adeline, which is what we're currently reading.
Yes.
Trigger warning, all of them.
Yes. All the trigger
for Hunting
warnings.
and Haunting Adeline.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It is not a book for people who, if you do get triggered by dark aspects, if you get triggered by violence, rape, sexual like misconduct, things like that, this is not your book.
Nope. Don't read it.
But I've got to tell the funny story.
I'm here for it.
When I went to go buy these books.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
And I asked for the book.
Mm-hmm.
And we're at Barnes & Noble, my husband and I. And I ended up going up and asking for it because we went through shelves by shelves alphabetically. We could not find this book. And we went and we asked for it. And there's a woman and a young guy behind the counter. And I'm talking to the woman. But then the young guy who's standing next to her goes, yep. And I'm like, first of all, not professional. He knows. But secondly, yeah, I'm reading that.
Yeah.
I do have to say, Zade Meadows could do anything, any day.
Zade Meadows is a creature on his own.
Hurt me,
literally.
anything. It's fine.
Yeah.
I would forgive him. He's also apparently like 6'5" or 6'7".
Yes,
Huge.
I know. Oh, like okay,
Even better.
Yes,
even better.
I was trying to imagine, like, compare it to like a celebrity or something, so that I could visually get it. I still haven't.
The only
there is one
height reference I have is Andrew's Uncle Joe because he's 6'5".
The one,
and so Zade Meadow would be bigger.
The guy that I put in our new fan fiction spoiler, Vincent.
Yeah,
him. He's that tall.
I was gonna do for Weston spoiler.
Yes,
he was gonna be at least 6'4". He was gonna just be a giant hunk of a man.
Yeah. Which is the military man.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
All the other ones, they're like 6 foot, obviously. 6 foot. Whatever. But that's spoilers. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
I also, because it was my birthday weekend.
Yes, it was.
Last weekend, I got spoiled. And I really did get spoiled.
You did.
My husband, we bought 2 more books. And first of all, I've been preaching on everything. I have wanted to start physically, because again, I listened to it on an audiobook, the ACOTAR series. I bought the first ACOTAR book, and that is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas.
Yes.
And I am going to be going through and reading this. And I think this is the one I'm going to start with my notations with.
I think it'll be nice too, because it has like the map that you can refer back to way more easily than like on a Kindle or whatever.
Yeah.
But like in the Audible, they tell you can look it up here and view it.
Oh, I never looked at it.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty good with maps in my head anyways.
Exactly.
But I'm kind of excited to actually be able to have the map and like see.
Because it has pictures. No, that was not what I was talking about. I was thinking of the letters in Haunting Adeline.
Oh, yeah. It's one of my favorite parts.
I know. It's like the text messages in 50 Shades of Grey.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
Had to add that.
It's the little, the little things.
Yes.
It's the little things that you miss out in an audiobook because reading's a luxury.
Yeah.
And so I want to delve into that.
Yeah.
And so I am going to be rereading the ACOTAR series and slowly buying each book, which they sell those at Walmart. Yeah. It's easy enough to get them. However, finding the first book has been a pain in the ass. I had to go to Target.
That's because it's the most popular.
Yeah. I had to go all the way up into Fairlawn, Montrose to get to that Target. Yeah. To get the first book.
It's the most popular book in the series because it's the first one.
Right.
And everyone talks about it.
Yes.
And then people just stop. They don't continue on into the series.
which I don't get.
I don't get it either.
I'm like, you have no idea how much better it gets.
Mm-hmm.
No idea. Along the lines of rereading, I am also going to be rereading the series. The first book is called The Cruel Prince. It's by Holly Black. I think it's called the Airfolk series. I'm not entirely sure. I can't remember. But I listened to it on audiobook, and I love the Cruel Prince, the actual character, the prince.
Mm-hmm.
I love that character. I love the relationship between him and the lead, whose name I don't even remember.
Yeah.
But I just want to like experience that angst on paper. And I want to add it to my collection because I liked that series enough that I want it in paperback.
Yeah.
And apparently, I don't know if I listened to it or not, but I saw something when I was at the store and it was like, new book for this series. And I'm like, what do you mean?
What
there's
series?
for The Cruel Prince? I thought it was a trilogy, but then they released like a little like extra thing, I believe. So that's what really like prompted me into going. And now I'm going to buy the physical series. So I'm not missing out on anything.
Yeah.
And then last but not least on our book category.
So The Cruel Prince, The Queen of Nothing,
Mm-hmm.
The Wicked King.
Yes.
I believe The King of Elfham.
Elfham.
Is this the next book?
I think.
No.
That's
what it's. I mean,
I don't know. It's like I don't know if they released like little side
like
stories.
something called The Lost Sisters, possibly.
I don't know. So I'm gonna have to research.
That was
it.
2018. That would have been like the same time of Cruel Prince.
I listened to this when I still worked at the college.
The Folk of the Air series. Book 1 is The Cruel Prince. Book 1.5, The Lost Sisters. Book 2, The Wicked King. Book 3, The Queen of Nothing. Book 3.5, How the King of Elfham Learned to Hate Stories. And that's it so far.
Okay.
Possibly one called The Stolen Heir.
That was something I saw.
Let's click on that. It's book 4 is The Stolen Heir. Book 5, The Prisoner's Throne. That's both of The Stolen Heir published 2023. The Prisoner's Throne expected next year.
I knew it. I knew it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I saw The Stolen Heir out
Yeah.
on display. And that's why I was like, I think I need to restart the series because I saw other books that I didn't see in Audible.
For sure.
Or on the library. I listened to that from the library.
Mm-hmm. So there's 7 books. Just 2 of them are 0.5s. So probably like smaller books.
So excited. Okay. And then last in my book series here is an interested in only because of TikTok and not because I'm a freak. Wink. It is called The Ice Planet Barbarian by Ruby Dixon. And folks, this one was real big on spicy TikTok like a year or 2 ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't. And then I saw the book covers and I saw the actual books in store and I thought they were beautiful because they were very vibrant and colorful. And so I am going to try to read the first one and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. I put the link to all the books in your library. You're welcome. Because it would have gotten lost in our texts.
She takes care of me.
It would have gotten lost in our texts, to be honest. So,
and so, all right. We're going to talk about D&D for a minute.
We are.
I ended my first campaign, which I think, briefly talked about.
In Wife Wednesday,
maybe in Nerdquesting last, like 2 months ago.
I think we talked about how it was going to be ending. Or something.
I miss doing it. I miss being a DM.
Yeah.
But the next time I DM, I want a smaller group. And I just think we have some players that are argumentative and rules lawyery just for the sake of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it gets very exhausting.
It is, because it's not fun anymore.
No, it's not. I'm like, come on now.
Like they state, you're the DM, you make the rules, but then argue everything that you do.
Yeah. And it just got exhausting. And I was tired of the battle of wills.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why I ended my campaign.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're
it could have gone way
interested
farther
in playing Dungeons and Dragons, talk to your DM. Because if you're going to be this kind of person, your DM needs like a full warning ahead of time.
Yeah. Like if you want to stick with the rules kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like no imagination, no leeway.
Yeah.
That's fine. But you need to state that in the beginning because not everyone plays as conventionally as others.
Yes.
And some of us are still learning. And then there was just, your note had ungrateful people.
Yes.
And
ungrateful for the work that we go into to one set up for D&D.
To set up,
to
cook,
plan, to have food available, and then have to clean up after that.
Yeah.
To get your house back to normal.
My whole house.
Because, like, your house is just the best house for this.
It's big.
It's big. It has the room.
There's no children.
You also host band practice at your house. So that's 2 days at the very least that you are moving your dining room table out of the dining room and having to put it back.
And cleaning up after men.
Yes.
And I'm only obligated to clean up after one man.
Literally, yeah.
And it's just kind of been I just
feel unappreciated.
I feel unappreciated, and that that someone walks in my house and just thinks it's a dump, and I'm not going to be treated that way in my own home.
Yeah. Like they, for the first time probably ever, saw us cleaning up your living room and moving the tables back to where they belong. And they're like, what are we doing? Setting up for the queen? We were like, no, we're cleaning up what
and
we
I
do
said,
every week after you leave.
Up. I'm like, sometimes it's hours of cleaning in my house.
Yeah.
Especially if I'm by myself. Cleaning up after this. And then this person's like, well, there's a wrapper on your stove. And just like
that was from that morning.
That was from that morning that my husband, the only man I'm obligated to clean up after, left there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I've been stewing all week about that.
Yeah. I was literally like, what the heck do you mean? What are we doing? We do this every week after you leave. You literally pack up and leave. You're only here because you're blocked in.
Yeah. And
you're just standing there watching us do this.
I'm like, dude, this is why you don't have a wife.
Dude. Yes.
Like, I can't imagine a woman
or
living
even just
with you.
a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, couldn't imagine.
Literally. I'm like, quit being an asshole.
Yeah.
And so Nicole was mommy for me and sent out a text to everybody.
And I said,
I'm not even running a
D&D
campaign
this week. Yeah, you're not even running a campaign right now. It's literally just Adric, and Therese has hers setting up.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I was just like, I'm done.
Yeah. For now.
For the foreseeable future.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not hosting D&D at my house.
There you go.
Just for a little while. I need a break.
Yeah.
I need time to reclean my house, which I've kind of been in the process of.
Yeah.
And I got a new kitten. I have a kitten. And not that she takes a lot of care per se, but, you know,
she's 7 weeks old.
Yeah. I have to monitor her.
Yes.
And, you know, she's doing great. The dogs are doing great with her.
Mm-hmm.
Paisley and Percy both love her.
Yeah.
Except for when she tries to climb on top of Percy. He doesn't like that very much.
So I also got a kitten. It's the sister to her kitten.
Yeah.
I literally, after the fireworks last night, went upstairs and I was like cleaning her litter box because I always clean it at night. And I cleaned it, laid down, was playing with her, and all of a sudden she's over there peeing and pooping in it. I'm like, I just cleaned that.
Yeah, and that's why she wants to pee and poop.
I sat there and watched her like make her spot, poop in her spot, and then cover her poop. And I was like, look how good you're doing.
Right?
I'm so proud of you.
Like, they're doing so good.
Yeah.
And I really think, you know, kudos to my parents.
Mm-hmm.
They put those litter boxes out.
Yes.
Immediately for them. And I would say they were like 3 weeks old
when they started
using them.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I don't think they had a problem adjusting to it.
Yeah. Well, I was kind of nervous because when I don't have other animals, I have children. Same
difference.
Same thing. So I like Bootsy can mimic what the dogs do. Like,
yeah,
she can go up and down the stairs. Wednesday does not like stairs. They are not her thing right now.
My mom, Boss Baby,
Mm-hmm.
she doesn't do the stairs.
Yeah, she doesn't like the stairs yet. And I was just kind of worried not worried, but like, how fast is she going to adjust to being alone?
Mm-hmm.
Like how Bootsy, she just does whatever the dogs do and messes with the dogs. But Wednesday's doing pretty good.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Well, I mean, Bootsy, when we leave the house, the dogs and Bootsy are separated.
Yeah.
Because she's still just so little.
Yes. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. So we minimize that risk.
Mm-hmm.
Upstairs where my husband and I's offices are, it's literally like 2 conjoined rooms.
Yeah.
And we even took the door off of that and moved it to the other stairwell.
Side, yeah. Which was way better.
Oh,
in all reality.
Oh, yeah.
It needed done a long time ago.
Agreed. And so, like, the one room is where Bootsy is, where her cage is. And
it was our old podcast room.
Yeah. And then we came back down here.
Yeah, it's way better.
It is better. It's more quiet.
Cooler, warmer, quiet.
Yeah. So it's just better for us.
Yes.
And so that's still like my personal room. It's just really got my stuff in it.
Yeah.
But we've been calling it Bootsy's room.
Yeah.
Kind of like the guest room is Paisley's room.
Mm-hmm. It for sure is.
And Percy's room is just wherever I am.
Literally, yeah. Literally, Cena's feet.
My feet. My womb is his room. And, you know, like, I've just been so impressed with how they've adjusted.
Wednesday's just been like, her room right now is my office.
Mm-hmm.
And I just have like a little cardboard box up barricade for her walking through. But I like moved the bed out of there and I moved the rocking chair over to by the door. And she's been sitting on the arm watching the stairs when she's up there by herself. And I come up and she's just watching. Like when I got up this morning and went in there, she was laying on top of the chair sleeping. And I'm like, you know, you could jump over that.
But she doesn't want to.
But she doesn't want to.
No.
She is, give me my space. I would like space for a little bit, and then I want to come sleep on your lap.
She's appropriately named.
Appropriate. Very appropriate.
And Bootsy is a hellion.
Cena and I got each other's personalities and cats.
Literally, Bootsy is chaos.
Wednesday wants me to rub her belly to sleep in my arms.
Yeah, and same.
And Bootsy and I like to wreak havoc.
Yes. So, for the final thing we're going to talk about today, our fan fiction, because that's
obviously,
what we live for.
People, listen, it's not going anywhere.
No, it's not.
Because it's way easier for us to write now.
Yes, it is. And we're starting a new story.
Can we tell them how we started writing first? Like our...
Yes,
absolutely. So we started with Google Groups.
Oh my God.
To where you had to like write it somewhere else and then upload it.
Yeah.
Well, you could write it there, but I would write it on... I was on
Google Docs or Word.
I was on Microsoft because I got it free when we worked at the college.
Yeah.
And then we stopped writing for like years.
Literally.
And then we started with Google Docs because you can just write there and
we could both be on it.
Yeah. And then
we moved on to the world of Discord. It's literally my favorite social media platform.
Yeah.
Because you can organize
We
things.
have so much. We have Wife Wednesday's headquarters are there. We have our own little thing where we have failed the whole summer, where we have our food diaries.
Oh my
And,
gosh, yeah. We were doing
we
so
were
good.
doing really good. But honestly, summer is not the time for me
No.
to do any of that.
No, it's just it's
Not
holiday,
for what I'm
holiday,
hearing.
Holiday,
It's just, yeah,
birthday.
it's just, yeah. And it's where Bootsy and Wednesday send each other letters every day.
And so
And that's where we're keeping them.
Who knows? We may release it.
You never know.
Like a blog post.
We had a Discord for
my D&D.
for your D&D.
My next campaign will have one, and everyone is
We're
required
literally the
to be
only
on
two
it.
in it ever at all now. It's just you and me showing on the right now.
Everyone else left.
Everyone has left. It's just you and me
So
in a
disrespectful.
plea to the goddess.
So
We have a
disrespectful.
grimoire sanctuary, which we haven't used because that was more of a Shauna thing.
Yeah.
And Shauna lost all of her login. So we made her a new email and a new login, gave her all the materials. All she had to do was download Discord. And she has not.
She is not.
In months.
Literally.
And we're like, you know what? You
Honey,
do you, babe.
You can do it on your computer. It doesn't have to be on your phone.
Yeah. But we have the vampire one that we've talked about.
Yeah.
And so we have one, it's called the Honey Badger, which is obviously the one that we're writing and finishing soon. And then we have the Mystic Motive Garage. And that's all you guys are getting right now.
That's it. Other than our
We're really
spoilers where we
building.
talked about Vincent
Yes.
and Weston.
Ooh, do you want to talk about how we are using AI with it right now, or do you want to save it?
I think we'll save that for next week or
Okay.
next episodes.
Yeah, that would be fun.
We'll delve
When we
into
actually
our-
start writing about it.
Yeah. And you know what? Next nerd questing, after I've played a little more Diablo, I'll see if my rating has changed.
Oh, yeah, true. Doing the side quests and things.
Yeah.
We're side quest bitches. We really are.
Yeah. I'm loot goblins and side quest bitches.
Yeah, but we've been
that can be the title.
Yes. We've been obsessing over our new fanfic. Like, we can't stop thinking about it, but we also need to finish our Honey Badger one. We have it all planned. We
Which
just
is our
have
goals.
to do it.
That's our goal.
Yeah, today we're finishing that story. And then we're also building, because when we write stories, we have to visually know what like our homes or whatever look like.
We have
because
literal wardrobes.
we do.
That's probably my favorite part.
But we have to know where we are together at the same time, because
We're writing stories
Like,
from the same.
she can't be thinking of a house and I'm thinking of a different house. How are you going to cooperatively write? So last time we literally used like graph poster board, drew out our apartment, the bar,
Everything.
and now we've moved on
Yes.
to where we're going to use The Sims.
Oh my gosh. I'm so excited for that.
Literally, yeah. So
So nerds, thanks for listening.
thanks for listening and nerding out with us. Bye.
Bye.
You've been listening to Nerdquest, a Wife Wednesday Radio Network production. Our executive producer is Dustin from the Lead Up Studios team in St. Louis, Missouri. Be sure to like, follow, and share us with your friends on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and more by searching Wife Wednesday. You can find Nerdquesting on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Audible, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and more.